Hello.
Ian, there is a company.
Hmm.
It's called SpaceX.
That's right.
It launches rockets.
That's right.
SpaceX has a subsidiary called XAI.
Yes.
XAI has a subsidiary called X.com,
That's
the
true.
Everything app.
I like to
I was
call it
on
Twitter.
X.com, the Everything app.
Yes.
Spending
Man.
my one wild and precious life looking through the feed.
Mm-hmm.
And lo, do my eyes deceive me?
What's going
It
on?
is one Ian Landsman
What?
on X.com,
What?
the Everything app. What is going on?
No.
Welcome
No.
back to the party, pal. This is
Say
great
it isn't
news.
so.
This
Say it
is
isn't
great news.
so. I thought
Every
Ian was a
time you've
man of
ever been
integrity.
right, every time you've ever been right,
Yeah.
pales in comparison
Mm.
to me being right about you returning to X.com, the Everything app. What is going on?
Was that an actual prediction?
No, just in my head.
Okay.
I just knew that you and eventually
just could
Justin
feel it.
Jackson would return.
He's the last guy you're trying to hook back in.
He's the last guy I'm trying to get back.
Yeah.
The hype of Blue Sky is dead.
Mm-hmm.
I check it once every 2 months.
Yeah.
It seems very pleasant over there, but very quiet. And I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'll go to your feed and I'll go to Justin's feed, and it's like 4 likes, and I'm like, are you guys talking to people over here? What's going on? So
if you want the juice, it's not the spot for if you're addicted to the social media juice. It's not necessarily the spot for that.
It's not the spot.
Yeah. Oh man, this is a multifaceted question.
I love it.
I would say just a shout out Blue Sky. You should still follow me over there on Blue Sky. That's going to be the more personal Ian. Ian's taking a different tact. There's personal Ian. That's still on Blue Sky.
Okay, can we just for the sake of of sponsors and the show and my future and everything, can we say that personal and politics Ian is on Blue Sky?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Hey, that's great. All right.
That's personal Ian. Yes, personal Ian is over there. Twitter Ian is so here's the thing, right?
Yeah, I love it. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. That means we got to dig.
We got to dig because there's a lot of layers here, right? Like I don't need to be on Twitter, right? Like
Correct.
I still feel like I don't need to be on Twitter. Twitter's literally never done anything for me in terms of like financial success.
You're a made man in that regard.
I'm a made man, self-made. It was not because of Twitter. I've made very little money due to Twitter. So okay.
Correct.
So I don't have that motivation, which was part of my motivation of getting rid of it anyway. Because to me, I totally understand why other people didn't get rid of it. I totally understand if you're a frontline dev and you're like, I feel like I got to be here. You're selling to developers. Now you feel like you got to be here.
Me as the prime example of why I have to be there. Yeah,
you have to be there. I get it. That's fine. So, and I do not judge. That's fine. Everybody makes their own decisions there. But you know, I'm not compelled in that same way.
Sure.
So I've been like, okay, whatever. I don't need this. It's very stressful over here for many reasons, political reasons, but also just like the inherent nature of Twitter. I feel like it's very, it's very stressful.
I get
it. Yeah, all the stuff we all know about Twitter. We don't need to rehash all the bad parts of Twitter, right? So just even stuff like things that were supposed to be fixed by Elon on buying it that are still not. I mean, we'll get a little bit into that, I'm sure, but there's a lot of like just user interface attempting to use the app is difficult and frustrating. So okay,
yes.
So I've been actually totally fine. I check in once a week, usually twice a week. Somebody posts a link over there. I will do my run through. What did Taylor talk about? What did Aaron talk about? Like, let me just check on the people and see if I missed anything big happening. Okay, fine. I've had no urges beyond that to go over there. All right.
Here's the turn.
You and me are working on something.
We're working on
something. We're not
going
to talk about yet, but we're working on it. And this thing, it started to pull at me a little bit like, this thing will be better if I'm on Twitter because of all the reasons we just talked about, which is that the devs are still on Twitter. And if the devs are still on Twitter and we do a new thing related to the devs, then me being on Twitter is probably good for that endeavor. So I don't think it's make or break for that endeavor. I think I could not be on Twitter and it would still be fine. We could get by. But I do think there is an aspect of it that, like, if we're both on there together, it's more of a thing. We can do our little dog and pony show together on Twitter at times, right?
Yep.
Build up some steam, all that kind of stuff. So, no, so that was pretty much it. So I was like, all right, let me try it. Let me go. I'll dip my toe back in, see what's going on over there with the people. There are some people who I wasn't able to check on as regularly, who now I can just follow and be connected to, which is nice to see those people again. So yeah, there's not really more to it than that. I mean, I think I've had a year or so, right? I think it's probably been about a year, and that was a good break. I'm happy with that break. I feel like that was mental health break was very good. You've heard this story now many times, but attempting to sign up for a Twitter account, at least 4.
I've heard this story 4 times.
It's very difficult to sign up for an account. It's like, this is actually part of the upside for me is like, in terms of the sort of Elon political end of things, is the deeper it gets buried in to this giant conglomerate of shit, like the better I feel about it. Because it's like, you know what? Nobody's paying attention to this thing. It's very clear nobody's paying attention to it. Nothing's better than a year ago when I was last on it. Signing up is harder than it's ever been. So it doesn't seem like there's like really a lot of motivation to make it compete with other social media out there. It's like they have the crew who are locked there. They're fine with that crew. You go look at the list of top social media sites. There's like 4 you've never heard of, literally never heard of ahead of it. So it's like, they're just fine. This is a dying little thing, but there's some groups that are still there. Great. And so I was like, all right. I kind of like that. They know it's dying. We know it's dying, but we're all okay with that. They're just going to leave it alone. They're not
just play the music
anything
on the deck until it goes under. It's fine.
They're
We're
not
having
fixing
fun.
anything. They're not doing anything. It's fine. And so, kind of like that. Yeah. And the other thing is the other people that are there that I'm interested in is the podcasters are somewhat still there. Not as universally as the devs. The devs are like they're all.
I agree.
Podcasters,
but the devs podcasters, they're definitely there.
All the dev podcasters are there. Which for outro, I don't necessarily need the dev podcasters, but like yes. So
but it's a good starting point.
It is a good starting point, of course. So I like that. I actually did an interesting thing. I had Google deep research go through and like look up the top 50 podcasts or whatever, something like that, and find their Twitter handles. And there was a surprising amount that like had dead Twitter handles that were like the people had gone off to greener pastures. But it was still probably about 25%, something like that.
I do think most corporate Twitter accounts are just totally dead.
Yeah,
you'll see, TechCrunch has 5 million followers and their tweets get 800 impressions. And so I think a lot of that is dead. Okay. So as your triumphant return is executed, I want to give you, but more, I want to give the dear listener this reminder.
Oh, yeah. Give it to me.
Mute the super spreaders. Okay.
Yes,
so you must immediately mute Elon Musk. I'm sorry. You have to mute him.
First thing I did.
First thing, you have to mute him. There are some tech drama super spreaders.
Yes.
And even if you don't follow them, they will end up replied to or quoted into your feed. Mute them. You're not going to miss anything if somebody has a hot take on a minor open source model release. Wait for the Simon Willisons, wait for the Clawbot guy, like wait for people that have a little bit better, taste to talk about it. Wait for Lee Robb to talk about it. But don't like the people who make their money off of rage, you're not going to miss anything. Just mute them immediately. My other hot take is every political commentator you see, right or left, just mute them. If they've got over 100,000 followers and they like to talk about politics, mute them. Just get rid of them. Mute the word Democrat. Mute the word Republican. Mute the word Trump. Mute the word Harris or whoever runs next. Like there are. And in my opinion, and this is more for the audience, in my opinion, this is not an abdication of civic engagement. This is not an abdication of responsibility. This is, I don't want to get that kind of information from this place because this place is incentivized for hot takes and arguments and whatever. So like,
Mhm.
do I like vote in local elections? Yes. I read, the Dallas Morning News write-up of all the ballot
Ah.
propositions, see
Mhm.
what they are, and then I go vote on them. I don't
Mhm.
need to see people arguing about,
Yeah.
the local props on Twitter. I don't
Yeah.
care to see
Right.
that 6 months ahead of time. I'm going
Yep.
to go and read the both sides on, the Dallas Morning News and see like who says what about what, and then I'm going to go
Mhm.
vote. So you can, of course, log off and live in your own little world. Or,
Mhm.
dear listener, you can decide Twitter is not the primary means by which I need to consume this type of information.
Mhm.
You should decide if you want to consume that information at all. But whatever you do, don't get it from Twitter. Whatever you do, don't get it from Twitter. Dev
Yeah.
Twitter, Hangout Twitter, all of that is actually pretty fun. It's
Mm.
when you get into culture war Twitter that it's like, okay, I don't need to see this. And like, this is a little bit spicy, but like, I muted the words Ukraine and Russia, because
Mm.
I don't need to see that kind of like up to the second
Mhm.
ill-informed take on Twitter. I can seek that
Yeah.
out from a reputable news source. And like, I've
Yep.
muted CNN on Twitter. Like, I just
Right.
don't need to see that in my day-to-day. So
Yeah.
that's my generic call to action for the
I like
people,
it.
and some of that specifically might be helpful for you as you return into the
Get back in the
cesspool
fold.
of excitement. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely, I've taken a lot of inspiration from you on multiple fronts with this. I have absolutely, I mean, old me Twitter, I didn't really mute anybody, I didn't really block anybody. So it seems like muting is more the primary path here, right? Because like
Yeah.
blocking
I
has
don't
its own negative consequences. Like,
for me, blocking is it's a mute with prejudice. It's like, you
right,
have done something egregious, like you've been rude to me or someone that I care about. You are
right,
clearly a bad faith actor. For
yeah,
people that are just like, you annoy me, I just mute them.
right.
It's not like prejudice. So
When
carry
when
on.
someone ats you and they're muted, you will still see that though, or no?
You have to do, and just no complaints here. You
Sure.
have to do a special search, because
Okay.
I think this could be wrong. I actually don't know, but I'm just so in the pattern of doing this special search that
Mm-hmm.
I can't say for sure. But you can do a special search for your handle, so Aaron D.
Mm-hmm.
Francis, and then just like Google has had the negate operator. So Aaron D. Francis space minus from Aaron D. Francis. And that shows me all tweets that mention my handle
Okay.
except for tweets from me, right? So I don't see my
Okay.
own tweets in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
And as we all know, Twitter's notifications are famously
Oh,
flaky.
they're so
And so
bad.
I just do that. I
Crazy.
just have a
Yeah.
bookmarklet in my Chrome little
Mm.
quick action tab up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just click on it, and it's a saved search to Aaron D. Francis minus from Aaron D. Francis. And that's it. And I just like scroll through that, and I'm like, oh, I missed that because Twitter decided it was a low quality reply and it's actually my friend. Or like, I missed that because, Twitter's Redis crashed at the moment it was supposed to notify me of that. And
Yeah.
so that's what I do. I can't say for sure if mute at mentions come through. I don't remember.
It might just do the view. You have to still click the view thing or whatever, I don't know. Well, okay. Well, that's good to know. I will try, because I've already missed an at reply from someone who was totally legit and nice, because Twitter like wasn't in the notifications anywhere and whatever. Okay, so yeah, so I've taken that inspiration from you, so I'll be very heavy-handed on the muting and likely the stop words. It's very annoying, unlike Blue Sky, that you cannot share these lists amongst each other, because that would be very nice to just
It would be nice.
take your list and start there, but whatever, we will build it up. Yeah, I think this is like an interesting the gap and the year off, I think has been nice too. Cause like old Twitter was that's a different, like whatever. That's like me being user number 5, right? Like in the OG world, when Twitter was a HubSpot customer, day 1 of Twitter. Like, so I had this whole personal relationship with it. That was like my buddies. That was a personal thing over there on Twitter. This, I feel very differently after this gap here of like, Twitter is strictly business. This is Godfather style. It is 100% a tool. This is just, do I want to be right or do I want to win? All your philosophy here, right? So I'm just going to do business stuff on there. Now I do like getting news in this format,
Mm-hmm.
but I have Blue Sky for that. So Blue
You do.
Sky,
That's
subscribe to my news. I'm still
yes.
on Blue Sky, and I will absorb live events and stuff, especially because I have New York Times subscription, all the other things that are like great for like I'm keeping up on stuff in general, but live events are still best over text-based social media. For whatever reason that is,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is like the best way to consume it. So whatever, I have that channel. That will not be the Twitter channel. Twitter will be AI and podcasts, and that's like pretty much exclusively it.
And sweet
Um,
hangs with all your dev friends.
then I got my buddies on there who
Yep.
I can keep up with, and that's great. Uh, so the kind of like, yeah, one step removed buddies who I'm not in daily contact with, but are people I like to
Yeah.
have in the circles. Yeah, so that's great. Listeners of the show, for
Mm-hmm.
example, who I had a couple already reach out to me, which is very nice. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you to those who listen, who reached out. And yeah, so I think we got a plan. I think I like where this is going. We will see how it works. I reserve the right to change my mind, but so far so good.
Good.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But
My
so far so good.
my other tip for the listener is people want to bait you into arguing, and the best thing to do is to hit them with the thumbs up emoji.
Right.
That's it. Like, this looks stupid. Why did you build this? And you just say,
Right.
may not be for you, thumbs up. That's it. That's all you do. May not be for you, thumbs up. Or
do you mute? Are you mute? Do you mute at that point?
I'll mute if somebody's like that rude,
Yeah.
I'll definitely mute them. But if somebody's like, hey, I built this a year ago, cool.
Right.
Okay. I don't care. Like, I'm
Right.
not gonna try to convince you of anything. I'm just gonna say,
Yeah.
cool. So don't fight with people on Twitter, listeners, because something about the pigs love it or something like
Right.
that. If you wrestle with a pig, you both get dirty, but the pig loves it. You'll find it.
We did skip over the part where I said how terrible signing up was, because signing up is you have to like validate your email 4 times after you pay them $400, which I find rude, but whatever. I got through it. It blocks you a couple times because it thinks you're a bot, even though you're not doing bot like stuff, and you paid them $400, whatever. Paying them $400 was slightly annoying, but it's like, whatever. If I'm here to play the game, then I might as well have the maximum reach, right? So
that's the rules on the field. Gotta play it.
That's the deal. So we will pay the ransom.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think, is there anything else? I think that's kind of the big stuff. Yeah. Still gotta feel out.
I'm excited to have you back.
Yeah, it's good to be back in some of these regards and interact with you. Getting to seeing a lot of your follow-up with people has been quite interesting, because you're in the streets there. You're like,
I'm in the streets.
Yep. You're following up with everybody, which I thought was good and interesting. I love starting at 0 followers, because one of the things that used to annoy me at the end of my last Twitter run was like, okay, I have 12,000 followers, whatever, except that like I know they're all fake or they're dead
40 people
or like whatever.
Real, yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So like, now we got a clean slate. I got my 101 followers, whatever it is so far.
Yep.
Okay, these are all real people. I actually have some, they know me at least, and I know most of them in some way, whatever. So it's like, okay, like I kind of like that. It's like you're talking to real people, has that vibe again, instead of just like shouting out into like a bunch of 10-year-old accounts that haven't checked in forever. So
and to speak of the game, this is better for the game. Like, this is better that your followers engage with your content.
Right.
And you'll grow up
ratio,
to maybe you hit 4,000 or 5,000 instead of 12, but your account, in their heuristics is going to be higher quality because you don't have 8,000 people that never engage with your content. Well, just check when those people last logged in and add that to my heuristics. But of course, they probably don't do that. But it's like, oh, this guy has 12,000 followers and 3 saw his post. We should bury it. Yeah. So that's what I like when I see these huge accounts. I'm talking like 500,000, 1 million that get these low view impressions. I'm like, y'all have to go through with some tool and like manually like remove followers, because
is that impossible?
It is. Yeah, you can I don't know if it's available via API, but you can like click and say remove follower. Whenever I get a porn bot that follows me, I just block them. But if I get like a somebody that is like a spammer or something, I just hit remove
Yeah.
follower because I just don't want them hanging around.
Yeah.
But I also think like keeping those ratios better is gonna be better long term for your in
Right.
whatever Twitter uses internally for
Yeah.
engagement metrics or whatever. And this all sounds like I think people are listening and are like, dude, you're insane. Yeah, this is the game. Like my business
Uh,
relies on this, and
yeah.
so I play the game. If you're just there to like party and lull, like don't care about any of this stuff. But if
Right.
you're like, okay, business or Twitter is an actual business outlet for me,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's how you got to know what the rules are and you got to try to operate within them to win. So
Yeah.
if you're hearing this and you're like, I'm never going to do any of that, God be with ye. You don't have to. You super don't
Right.
have to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? Is like the AI devverse like is totally centered on Twitter.
Yep.
This is like my poll, right? And it's like there is no place else anybody talks about this stuff. It is
Mm-hmm.
basically exclusively on Twitter. And so it's like, yeah, do I want to stay up to date on what's going on? Do I want to be in the mix a little bit on some of that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so this is where the people are. Yeah, will I go as far as you on some of what you just described? Perhaps not. I don't know if I'm going to unfollow people, but I will be blocking heavily. So if that
Good.
might accomplish the similar goal of like, yes, you're an obvious spammer, especially anybody who interacts with me who's spammy, just going to get blocked
Mm-hmm.
or muted. No, I already got DHH muted. I already got a lot of the
Great.
got levels muted. I got some of the big
Great.
dogs muted
Yeah.
that I don't need to see and bother me. So try not to let the Twitter bring me down. I don't like
That
the Twitter
is
bring me down
the
vibe.
guiding
So
light. That
yes.
should be
Does this
everyone's
bring me
guiding
down?
principle. Yes.
Yeah.
Do I want to see this? It's
Yeah.
not like it's not offensive to mute
Right.
DHH. It's not offensive to
Yeah.
mute me. If you don't want to see what I
That'd be
talk
funny if I
about,
muted you. Yeah.
then mute me. That doesn't hurt my feelings. I
Yeah.
think I have IRL friends that have probably muted me
Right.
because they don't want to hear about the things I'm
Yeah.
doing. And I'm like, that
Yeah.
is okay. I'm fine with that. I've had a few confess to me in real life that like they dare not like any tweet I put out because then the algorithm's going to be like, so you want
Right.
Laravel, huh? And so they're like, I don't interact with your account. Like I'm happy to see
Yeah.
it flow by, but I'm not going to touch it. I'm like, yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah, that's a big part of my strategy too, is that I want the algo feed to be useful.
Yeah,
And so I'm like
it is.
strictly
Yeah.
interacting with like AI and podcasts is like
Yep.
what I'm interacting with and like
Mhm.
nothing else. And so, yep, that whole thing. I do think, like I said before, I think like in the 18 years of Twitter before today, it's like this was a more personal place to me. It's like
Mhm.
that phase of the internet that we all grew up together on. Like now I don't have those feelings at all. And it's just like, okay, like this is like, you may not like Jeff Bezos, but you still buy shit on Amazon, right? Because
Correct.
like Amazon's how you buy shit. And so
Yep.
that's like my view on this. So
I have a VW Atlas, and they were pretty brutal about cheating on emissions, but like it's a good car, like cast the
uh,
first stone or whatever. So
we
yeah,
gotta
I
up your
don't.
car game. We gotta get your car
Well, I
game
got to up
upped.
my money game, and then I'll
Yeah,
up
that's
my
true
car
too.
game. But I'm working on it. I'm gonna be rich by next year. That's the goal.
You're working on it.
I'm working on it. So welcome back
Thank you.
to the worst, greatest place on the internet,
Yeah.
X.com, the everything app. Speaking of upping our money game, Ian,
mm.
hit him.
All right, let's do it. So this week, brought to you by Redberry, a diamond tier Laravel partner agency, one of only 7 worldwide, 200 plus team, over a decade of experience, and zero drama delivery process at rates that are hard to beat. Check them out at redberry.international/Laravel-development. Laravel Private Cloud. Laravel Cloud frees your team from hands-on infra work so they can ship product features faster. And did you know Laravel Private Cloud is Laravel's isolated infrastructure offering? Ideal for organizations with strict security, compliance, or performance requirements. You can VPC peer in existing AWS resources and have full control over networking and compute. Check it out at cloud.laravel.com/enterprise. And finally, Ray, debug in style with the newly released version 3 of Ray. Version 3 looks better than ever with a redesigned UI and themes, feels snappier than ever with major performance improvements, and is ready for the future with a built-in MCP server and more new features to come. check that out at myray.app. Thanks to all those sponsors. Yeah. So we're back. We're back on it. I'm back on X. A little thing I'm trying to do, I always type Twitter.
I
I'm
know.
trying to type x.com. Let
Nah.
me just
Let
go
her
with it.
ride. Let
Let
her
me just go
ride.
with it.
I
Got my revolt.
you know the term malicious compliance. That's what I do with Twitter. If I ever call it X, I call it x.com, the everything app. I'm like, oh, you want me to call it X? All right,
Yeah.
I'll call it X.
I'm
You
all
better
in.
believe I will. But yeah, in my heart and in my browser, it's still Twitter.
Oh man. All right. So what else is going on? Yes, you know what people don't like to do?
I can think of a lot of things, but which one specifically are you thinking of?
HVAC guys.
Yep.
They don't like to come to your house during the Super Bowl. They don't want to do it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
They're HVAC guys and they want to watch the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like 5:30 last night. It's like an hour before the Super Bowl. And our whole first floor starts smelling like burning rubber chemicals. Like,
you don't
what
like
the heck
burning.
is this? It's not good. I know it's going to be a problem. It's the Super Bowl. Anyway, we determined it's coming out of the vents, which also sounds fairly scary.
Mm-hmm.
And then that it's something in the air handler. So we have like a boiler, which is separate from the air handler. So the air handler doesn't really do anything but have like a fan that blows, but
it handles the air.
It handles the air.
Yeah, it's all in the
so we called our regular HVAC guys, and I have to say they got back to us instantly, but he didn't want to come out. But he was like, it's going to be fine. Just turn it off. We're not going to be able to get any parts today anyway. So we turned off our first floor air handler, and it was okay so far. Probably the motor's going or whatever. The guy showed up this morning. It came on this morning by accident. We meant to leave it off, and it didn't smell. So that was weird. So I don't know if it just got so hot because it's been 0 degrees here for a month. If something's wearing inside when you feel hot or whatever. But anyway, that was homeownership, little homeownership excitement for our Super Bowl Sunday.
You know what Jennifer and I did not do yesterday?
What's that?
We did neither HVAC repairs nor watch the Super Bowl.
I didn't watch the Super Bowl?
I was at church Sunday morning. Sitting next to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. So I'm sitting next to my brother-in-law and I'm like, dude, I don't even know who's playing in the Super Bowl today. And he laughed. That was no surprise to him. He laughed and he told me it was the Patriots and somebody else. And I was like, yeah, I had no idea who was playing.
Oh my gosh, dude, you got to get the AI to tell you this stuff. What's going on culturally today? Update me.
Do not care. That's the thing. I don't care. So when people are like, oh, my OpenClaw sends me weather updates every day, I'm like, dude, I just go outside. I don't care. There's so many things I don't care about. And it's a nice life. It's a nice life.
Real-time update. I just saw the little notification come across my screen. We need a new blower motor. So the guy has ordered it. So
there you go.
If you're worried out there, that's what was wrong.
Wow. You heard it here first. Breaking news.
So did you see the AI.com ad?
I saw of it. I saw the meta, which is how I find out about most things, is the obscure meta tweets. And I saw previously that AI.com was bought for $70 million. And then the meta that I saw is they couldn't keep their website up and
down instantly.
That it's like an OpenClaw wrapper. They spent $70 million. And of course they may have it on a lease loan or something like that. But they spent $70 million on a domain for an OpenClaw wrapper and couldn't put CloudFront in front of it.
So weird.
It's weird.
They just bought. Now, I will give the guy credit who bought it because he bought Crypto.com and apparently just didn't have any ideas for that either. And then eventually turned it into an exchange. And now it's like a humongous thing. So he just ran the same playbook, which I kind of love because I love domains. So it's like, let me just get the very best domain possible for this, whatever amount of money it takes. And I will just start by throwing up whatever's hot right now on there in 5 minutes. And then we'll go from there on if do that.
Do you follow the onions.com guy on Twitter?
On Blue Sky, I follow the onions guy.
Peter somebody. Ask you, I think. That's his game. Is he like looks for domain? He's not in the $70 million game, but he
Right.
looks for domains and then backs into businesses off of that, which is how onions.com came to be. And he's very good at it. I mean, he's done a few like Dude Ranch job boards that I think he maybe sold off and bought back. And then I think for a while, I don't know if he owned birthdayparties.com. He'll often put out like no affiliation, no ad, like, hey, I saw this one, y'all go get it if you want it.
Right.
It's very interesting, the strategy of buy the like
first.
the real word.com and then just like stumble backwards into what you're going to do with it. It's kind of fun. I would love to be in the $70 million. Let's buy it and then figure out that's a stratosphere that as much as I believe in myself, I'm not sure I'm going to get there. But I do like the let's hang out and look for .coms and then see what happens. That's kind of fun.
That's super fun. I would love to just do that. I got to do more of that. And maybe there's still some good .coms out there for deals. I don't know, for less than 70 million. But I thought you were talking about a different guy. But yes, we've talked about this onions.com guy before, and he has VidaliaOnions.com, which is like where you also
I think he leveled up. I think he's got onions.com.
That's what I'm saying. He does. When you go to onions.com, it's him too.
Yes,
I think when we first talked about it, he was just Vidalia Onions.
He was Vidalia Onions guy, but now he is still that guy, but onions.com. And he's partnered like
kind of great.
He's gone the whole way. He's partnered with like a local onion farmer and they're like in this together. So he owns onions.com, VidaliaOnions.com, and organiconions.com is coming soon.
Yeah. I don't know about.
And now he's got a YouTube channel with this farmer buddy. Like, it's fun.
I don't know about this like organic onions. I feel like you can get organic onions everywhere. I like the Vidalia Onions angles. Feels to me a little more, it's a little bespoke. We're trying to make it fancy sounding. Maybe you can't get them everywhere.
My guess is that all the onions on VidaliaOnions.com and onions.com are organic onions, and so it's just purely a search play. That's my guess. I don't know.
Love
that
it. That's
true.
So like 2000.
I know.
I just love it.
I know.
All right, so we buried the lead with a bunch of wasted time talking about X.com, the everything app.
Yes.
When we should be talking about the launch of Solo.
Aaron's first desktop application.
Crazy. Wow.
Nobody saw it coming.
Okay.
There was no build up. There was only the launch.
Yes, you went straight to launch. No, the week before video stuff.
Yes. So Solo is a desktop application at soloterm.com. It is right now Mac only. I have Windows and Linux building. I just haven't tested it. I have a Windows laptop out there, and I've got a Linux laptop en route, which is terrifying.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, I don't look forward to that at all.
What about a VM? Why didn't you just spin it up in the cloud? You could spin up a server, a desktop Linux thingy. No?
Yeah, I don't know. I want to.
You can do Windows that way. That's how we do Windows. Just AWS.
I know. I've been trying to do Windows end-to-end testing on GitHub Actions, and the feedback cycle is forever.
Yeah.
And so what I really want is a Windows laptop with Claude on it with the local build set up so that I can run end-to-end testing out there and fix it. And then the long term will be running end-to-end testing in GitHub Actions. But for like the feedback loop, it's like it takes an hour to fail and then I got to fix something. It's like brutal. So, all right, what is Solo?
Yes, what is it?
Solo is a desktop application that manages your development processes, by which I mean you have you've got a website, you've got so you've got HelpSpot, you've got the back end, you've got Outro, you've got New Thing One, birthdayparties.com, you've got all these projects, right?
Right.
Each project has some combination of npm, maybe Laravel queues if you run them instead of doing them sync. Maybe it's got herd share or Cloudflare tunnels. Maybe it's got a Stripe webhook, replay listener locally. It's got, if you're in the other ecosystems, maybe you're running the Prisma whatever server. So you've got all these processes, right?
Yeah.
Um, and now that we're burning tokens, we've got a bunch of, Claude tabs open as well. So your terminal gets a little crowded.
It's a little crazy in there. Yeah.
You've got a couple of processes running, you've got a couple of Claudes running, you've got a couple of projects going. If you're me or John O'Nolan, you're just ripping tokens across 5 projects at once. And then Claude starts to be like, oh, let me start the dev server. So now you're in a Claude and it's running the dev server, and you're in a different Claude, and you don't know if that you lose track of what's going where. And so what Solo does is it allows you to add a project, and under a project you can add processes, and you can mark them as, auto start or not, because let's say the Stripe webhook listener and the Cloudflare tunnel, you don't need them all the time, but when you want to test it from your phone, or you want to send a share link to somebody, it's nice to just be able to click play on a GUI, and the Stripe or the Cloudflare tunnel boots up, right? You don't have to remember, you could put it in your package.json, which is also good, but it's nice to be able to see my share link isn't running right now. And so Solo does that. It has built-in terminals, so you can see the proper output. You can interact with it. If it is a interactive thing, you can click into it and type yes or continue, or you could actually run Vim in it. I saw some people have I just want to run Vim in it. I'm like, why? It does. You can configure processes to auto restart when they die. So you can have your PHP queue listener running, and when you trigger queues restart, that tells Laravel only to kill the process, right? That's how the queue restart works. And in production, you have supervisor that watches it, and that restarts it with a fresh copy of the application. And so if you want to do something like that locally, you can. Or you can have it just, any process that exits. If, sometimes you're running npm run dev, and there's some category of changes where usually it hot reloads, but sometimes the Vite server just dies. If you change something in Vite configuration and it errors out, and then it's just boom, dead. And then you go back and you're refreshing the page, and you're like, I'm changing words, and the words aren't showing up on the page. What the hell's going on? Well, your Vite server died. And so this will auto restart it. You can configure projects to auto start when you open Solo. So if you have one that you're always running, if that project is set to auto start, all of the auto starting processes will auto start within it, which is quite nice for your active, I'm working on this mostly right now. You can turn it on to do auto start. It does a few other clever things, it forwards on. You know how terminals will send you notifications Claude is waiting and is ready for your ready for action. It forwards those on, so it's parsing the logs out of these processes, and it's looking for these OSC notification codes, which is how the terminals trigger the desktop notifications, and it will see those push notifications from the underlying processes. And if Solo is focused, it'll put a toast inside of Solo. But if Solo is blurred, it'll go ahead and send it to your desktop. So it's hey, this project has a notification for you. You can click on it, and it'll pop you into the process. So it's really a a quality of life organization, sanity tool more than anything else. And it has a whole bunch of hotkeys and shortcuts and command palettes and all that built in. But yeah, it's a desktop app.
So I obviously have a million questions. I didn't get a chance this weekend to download it, which is we'll be doing today. But can you? So you can just run the full terminal inside it, right? It's just running a terminal. Yeah. Now, is it running just only the Mac terminal, or you run Ghosty inside of it, or how does that? I don't know how that works.
It's actually Ghosty WASM. So
Oh.
somebody compiled Ghosty, the terminal, to a WASM bundle, and that's what the terminal implementation in here is.
So for me, what I think I'm interested in using this for is so I don't have that many of those processes 'cause it's just a regular thing. Most of the time, I'm using sync. So most of the time, I'm only running npm dev, whatever, right?
Mhm.
But it is annoying managing through just Ghosty directly. Like that, I have 4 Claudes going in this one project, and I have 4 Claudes going in another project. Not necessarily at the same time, but like
Yeah.
I'm in this project, I have 4 terminals for Claude for doing
Yeah.
stuff. So I could put all those in this, right? Or no?
You could. You could
Okay.
start, you could add a process to your project and name it
Mhm.
Claude 1.
Right.
And the actual like process is just the word Claude.
It's just running Claude and
And then you
starting
could
it up.
add Claude 2, Claude 3, Claude
Yeah,
4, and just Claude, Claude,
yeah.
Claude.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
You
talking
could.
about.
You could. Yep.
That's what I'm gonna use it for because to me, I feel like that's even maybe how you should position it because like everybody's got
You
all
might
this
be
stuff.
right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like, and it's $99 a year or something like that, right? So
Mhm.
it's like, 99 bucks to like run npm dev is like feels a little heavy, maybe. Like obviously in different environments, or if you have a bunch of these things going, which is more the primary use case you're talking about, a little
Mhm.
different. But it's very annoying to be in the terminal and you have all this stuff going on, and like the tabs get smaller. You
They
can't
get
see
so
which
small. Yep.
thing you're looking at. And I want some separation between the different projects because I'm
Yep.
working on different things. And so now this could just be my command center for my projects and
It could.
all my Claude command line stuff, or I also usually have like right now, I usually have a Gemini or a Codex.
Yep.
I've switched over to Codex. So I have one Codex. I
Yep.
have 2 or 3 Claudes and a Codex just for like, whatever, when I need second opinion. So, okay. All
Mhm.
right. So
Mhm.
we can do the whole thing. I like this. And
You can do
then
the whole
obviously I'll have
thing.
my NPM going. And if I need a
Yep.
queue, whatever, I can do the queue. But
Yep.
all right.
You could
I
do
like
all of
it.
that. And some of the other features are you can write your process configuration to a solo.yaml file in the
Mm-hmm.
repository. And so like if
That's
you're
what
on
I
a
want.
team and there are, 8 processes, 2 of which are, run all the time and the other 6 are for these esoteric situations run these. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you can write all of those to the solo.yaml and then share that via Git. And when solo launches, it'll look at your solo.yaml. You can have a mix of that. So, like,
Mm.
you can have team processes, but still store some locally, right? So you can have
Hmm.
your shared processes, and then,
Right.
like, Ian has Claude 1 through 4 in his because he wants to run
Right.
Claude inside of
Right.
solo, right?
Yeah.
And then it has a built-in MCP server, which means you can
Mm.
tell Claude after you like do the MCP handshake, and there are instructions
Mm.
in Solo to do that. You can tell Claude, hey, read the output of the dev server and see what this error is or something.
Yeah.
Or which is nice because unless Claude launched it, typically, like if you're running it in Ghosty,
Right.
unless that Claude launched it, it
Right.
really doesn't have access to it because it's
Yeah.
process output, not like written to logs, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so you can tell Claude, restart the queues, and it'll go and find the process and restart it, or like stop it, or start
Mm.
it, or read the output, or whatever. And this
Hmm.
opens up interesting things, which I did not think about, which is running a couple of Claudes inside of Solo. You can have the Claudes read from each other, right? So you can have one that's
Mm.
like research Claude, and then you can have one that's, whatever, and say, hey, go
Right.
read the output from the research Claude and see what it said. And it'll read it via MCP. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's kind of wild.
Yeah.
So very interesting things are possible. And it is, I am excited because people really seem to like it, even though there are like 30 little nitpicky bugs that I've already found that I'm,
Mm.
working on fixing, and people are
Yeah.
still like, hey, this is awesome. So I think it could work.
Mm.
But regardless, the meta goal has been accomplished, which is people are impressed by it,
Yeah.
and they think Aaron built this and it's very good. He must know what he's talking about. And so
Right.
that was the entire meta
Yeah.
goal, is
Right.
to be like a credible builder a little bit outside of the Laravel space, a credible builder who can teach you how to build things that have a level of like unsloppiness. And I think
Right.
that's important. And I spent a
Yeah.
huge amount of time on the unsloppiness part, which is
Yeah.
like making sure that everything feels nice, everything looks nice, every like,
Mm,
the notifications are thought through so that if you're focused, it's in-app. If you're not focused, it's desktop. Like all of this stuff that
mm,
is anti, slop vibe.
right.
And I think that part mission accomplished.
Yeah. It looks really good. And yeah, I think this like organize your AI development angle. I don't know. That's the
Hmm.
part that's speaking to me. So I'm kind of excited about that. I saw like the tweets have gotten a lot of feedback, like
Yeah,
good feedback. The like
like
of the video.
350,000 impressions on
Yeah,
the
people
video.
love the video. Just as I mean, the video kind of became its own
Hmm.
offshoot
It
topic of
did.
how you did the
Everything
video.
is
So maybe we'll
content.
talk about that in a second. But all right, I have a couple other questions. Let's pay the rest of the bills and then more questions here.
Stay tuned for the questions. This episode is brought to you by Bento, the email marketing and CRM platform built for the AI era. Send your product marketing and transactional email with Bento, bentonow.com, or go to soloterm.com and buy a license and get an email via Bento. I use Bento for everything. Bentonow.com. And brought to you by SavvyCal, specifically SavvyCal Appointments, scheduling infrastructure for agencies and in-house dev teams from the makers of SavvyCal. I think we have an outro.fm tie-in that I want to talk about there, but check out
Mm,
SavvyCal at savvycal.com/appointments for their appointment scheduling infrastructure, and by IttyBit. And we have a special one here, so pay close attention to the IttyBit
mm.
read. IttyBit hooks into your storage bucket and handles all the annoying parts of processing large media files for you. If your project needs video, audio, or image processing that scales, you should check them out at ittybit.com. Now, the special part. This is what you get for being a mostly technical.com listener. Paul from IttyBit, who presumably is the founder and CEO,
Yes.
but if he's not, he
Yes.
just got promoted. Paul from IttyBit is offering 1,000 US dollars
It's
of
kinda crazy.
credits
Yeah.
to any listeners who are building an AI agent and can pair for 20 minutes to show him their workflow. So all you have to do is get on the phone with this super nice guy, Paul, and pair with them, and he'll give you $1,000 of credits. If that's you, you should email P, just the letter P. That's pretty metal. P at ittybit.com and mention the show. This offer is not available to people who do not listen to the show.
That's
So
true.
check them out at ittybit.com or send Paul an email if you're building something interesting and want a bunch of IttyBit credits.
Thought that was a great idea he had. He said he's already had several very interesting discussions with the mostly technical listener
Great.
audience about
Love that.
various things, which is why he's trying to encourage more of that as they're building out their infrastructure and, for more AI uses, obviously, of course. So, yeah, hit him up. Really
And
nice guy.
I don't want to hurt my arm patting myself on the back, but I feel like
Okay.
we're doing a good thing for our sponsors here. I feel
We
we've gotten these
crush it.
stories many times of
Many
like,
times.
hey, the listeners are actually like really good customers. So,
They really are.
I don't want to hurt my elbow, but that's pretty great for us. Good for us.
We didn't know how this was going to work out, right?
We
We
did
weren't
not.
sure. It was unclear, but I think it's worked out very well for both sides, for us
Yep.
and for the sponsors. Have really, we get this feedback quite often that people have had good success with the ads. So
Mhm.
that's really cool to see. All right.
Solo
There's a million other
questions.
questions. All right. So Mary Perry, friend of the show, actually emailed in with the
Best friend
question
of the
that
show.
I want to discuss as well, which is you've chosen to use Tori.
I
This
have
is something you don't know, we
Correct.
believe. My understanding is you have the Luke Skywalker blast shields on. You are
Blast
not
shields
looking
on.
at the code. So maybe
IDE has never been opened. I'll say that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Right. So okay. Give us the early
Why?
phase. Why? What you're gonna do? How you're gonna do it?
Yeah.
Whatever. The whole thing. Why you're using Tori and how it
Mhm.
went and all that stuff.
So this will resonate with you, Ian. horses for courses.
Okay.
Right? Horses for courses.
Yeah, I think it's courses for horses, actually. You need to sell the courses to get the horses.
Actually, you and I should team up on a horses course just for the wordplay of it all.
There's so much money in the horses.
I know.
We should do that.
I know. We got to get out of AI and into horses. That's where the real money
or
is.
Or the AI. Jamie, we're just talking about this AI for the horse world somehow. I don't know what we're going to do
not
there.
For the horses specifically,
well,
but
maybe.
for the horse world.
I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows? I don't know what they need.
Yeah.
So, I have built another desktop app, separate from Solo, that is a native PHP desktop app. And so it's not necessarily that Tari is the best desktop app developing environment. It is, in this specific use case, based on my own research and a lot of deep research, both from Claude and Gemini, that Tari is the best fit for this one because of the ecosystem around the process management. That is the key, that is what this app does, is manage processes. And so the Rust ecosystem has the best affordances for the pretty complex managing of child processes here. So the other one that was in the running for this was Electron, which is another great, that's what native PHP is built on top of. Electron is great, but just the ecosystem around the spawning, the killing, the reading, the sending, it has to be interactive. So it needs PTY and sending the input and reading the output and responding to terminal queries. It just came out that Rust was not only the best affordance, but also the most performant when it came to juggling all of these processes. And so that's what pushed me into the Tari path here. And then the next decision was what do you use on the front end? And I landed on React. So I am using React on the front end.
Crazy.
Specifically with TanStack Query, which is incredibly good. And I don't know how to say this, but Zustand or Zoostand. So that's a front end state. And so I have this really what I believe to be clean architecture and setup where I've got a SQLite database on the back end, which again is very Rust friendly. It's just totally mature back there. That's where all persistent state is stored. And then over the wire, we send these events that the front end can react to. But then every piece of front end kind of ephemeral state, which is which processes do you have open, what's focused, all of that is in the Zustand or Zoostand stores. And so I have these rules set up that talks about where state lives. And I'm realizing that as I'm thinking about the faster.dev bootcamp, one of the things that either juniors or people who want to get into engineering need to know is state management. It's just that's 80% of developing something is where does the stuff live? Yeah. And if you don't have a good answer to that, you end up chasing these if statements all through the code of well, if it's this, then it's that, but it could be here, and you update it there and it doesn't go there. And so the TanStack query, mutations and invalidations and all of that is just incredibly clean and very, very drivable. And then having the SQLite database with the Rust-fired events and the Zoostand stores and all of that, it actually, once I got over the hurdle of what is this architecture, and kind of defined through a lot of iteration, kind of defined how the thing was supposed to come together. Since then, it's been smooth sailing. Yeah. I haven't had any, the doom loop where you're you fix that and you broke this and you fix that and you broke that and you fixed, and it's just God dang it, this sucks. Yeah. Once I solidified that sort of architecture, I really haven't hit that at all. It's just if I do hit that, I'm hang on. This feels like we're doing this when in reality we should do that. And it's oh yeah, you're right. We're, we have a pattern for that and we're not following it. And I'm okay, brother, I forgive you, but follow the pattern. Right. And so that's why I landed on Tari for this, because of primarily the nugget of the application is complex process, PTY handling, and Rust is just the leader there as it relates to Tari versus Electron.
And you're a Rust guy now. Now you're a
I'm a
Rust
Rust
guy.
guy. I'm a Rust
Look at
guy.
that.
But,
So cool.
I don't have to say that out loud, which is really nice. Most
Yeah.
Rust guys have to tell everyone how great
That's
Rust
true.
is. And I'm just
That's
like,
true.
yeah, it is a hammer that I use when I see a nail. It's like, that's fine. It's not my whole identity, which is nice.
Right. I am kind of excited to have something at some point along these lines where like it says the AI development like really opens up this world of like this is just the best tool for this job. And like most of my ideas just tend to be more cruddish, but like whatever. If I had some part that's like, boy, if this was in Go, it would be so much faster and it would just be better. I could just do this one part in Go and just make that happen. And it's like that. I would never do that before. I would just like optimize PHP to the nth degree and like just so I never had to go figure out Rust or Go or Rust or whatever. But now it's like, oh, with the AI, if it's like just one thing that's doing one thing, like it's gonna be fine, and like we can just do it. So yeah, and or you can take it farther as you have and do a whole app, which is cool. And then like doing this, I think you building a desktop app is very interesting because you know the web side. Now you'll have the desktop side, like seeing all that stuff when it comes to faster.dev and different ideas people are going to want you to cover and all that stuff. So like content wise and your own knowledge wise, going to make a lot of sense. Now, do you
and this
think
is also firmly a flag in the ground of like, I'm not a Laravel guy. Like,
right, you're not,
Laravel
that's not only who you are.
Yeah, Laravel has my heart, but like, I can, if you sign up for faster.dev, I'm not going to teach you only Laravel. We'll talk about it a lot, trust me. But it's like, no, this is meta principles and frameworks around software development in the new era. And I think this communicates that well.
Yep. Yeah, and this is where like using the best tool for the job is like easier than ever, which I think benefits Laravel, right? In a lot of ways. And then but yeah, in other spots it's like, yeah, I can just Rust is the best tool for this job. Like I'm not gonna push against that and like do something different because I feel like I have the choice. I can just use the best tool for this particular job, and that's great. So
and the other desktop app that I wrote, I used native PHP because Laravel was the best choice for this desktop application because it was it is see this one. So heavily queue based. And no other queue implementation comes even close to Laravel's queues especially when you're talking about like SQLite database driven. You just can't beat Laravel in that regard. And so Laravel plus Inertia plus React on the front end, you've got a great desktop app that can be extremely heavily queue based with all the retries and all of that kind of stuff. Just running on the desktop. And so again, that was just the best choice for that app.
Just a little side anecdote here of what I was working on yesterday was that so Outro uses Pusher to like have some real-time stuff between all the users. And so it was just doing the broadcast now, but it was slowing Livewire down in some spots because it's just waiting for an HTTP call. So it's like, I want to be able to like push this segment as done and just have it instantly be done. But it's like, there's just that little delay as it like makes an HTTP call and like super annoying. So you can put it in the queue. But that's also super annoying because now it's not real time to the other users, right? And then as it gets bigger, the queue slows down, whatever, you all that queue world. But Laravel has defer. So it's like just ship the HTML back to Livewire, let it return it to the browser, and then send the pusher HTTP request. I'm like, this is unbelievable. I'm like rendering stuff in 12 milliseconds, and it's still real time for the other people. It's like, yes, Laravel is so,
one of the like
so
greatest additions in the past probably 4 years.
Yeah,
and
really
what
good.
for the non-Laravel folks, what defer is it allows you to queue just very small tasks. You don't want to queue a whole, process podcast this way. But it allows you to queue very small tasks to be run after the response is sent and before the, because in PHP, everything shuts down after we destroy the entire universe after the response is sent, before the universe is destroyed. So you can send out the HTML or HTTP response, then have a shutdown task that's like, all right, now go, fire off this thing to pusher, which may take, with DNS handshakes and everything, may take 300 milliseconds or whatever.
Right.
That's fine. After the user's already gotten their response, we can run that and then kill the universe for this request response lifecycle. It is, and of course,
so
you could.
good.
It's got different drivers. You could put it. You could actually use defer to put it in the queue if you wanted. But it's so clean. I love it so much.
Clean. Yeah, even putting it in the queue, I'm like, that's its own overhead. Just getting it to wherever the queue ends up living, right? If you're on SQS or whatever, there's an HTTP call there and all that stuff, and it's like. Defer. I've never had the opportunity to use defer, and I was like, boy, this just feels. It's it's React, it's real time, it's great. I'm like, man, Livewire, Laravel, defer, we're cooking.
Yep.
So anyway, all right. So what else you got going on with Solo? So it's out. People are buying it.
People are
buying it.
You can
buy it today. Go buy it.
You can buy it. You can download it for free. Go download it.
You have a very generous free version. I thought that was a pretty smart play on your part because it's like. It's like no, this is not an app category that even exists, right? So you have to get people into this idea of that this is a thing I even need, get them using it, get them using it for something else, right? And then get them using it for a third thing. And it's like, okay, like I'm really using this. Okay, now I get it. Now I want to put my Claudes in there, or I want to do some other stuff. And it's like, let me pay this $99 and get this going.
And part of the theory is I'm hoping for a little bit of land and expand with the solo.yaml. So hopefully people start using it and then add this file to their repo and then teammates see it and they start using it. And I want that bar to be super low. Yeah. And so the free tier is up to 3 projects or up to 12 processes.
Which that's a lot of processes. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. So I thought 3 projects with 4 processes is like pretty reasonable.
Pretty generous.
But then, every developer's got 15 side projects or their blog or any developer in a proper company's got like 8 repos that are like front end, back end, analytics, admin. It's like all this stuff. And I'm hoping that it's low enough that people download it and try it for 1 or 2 things. And then they're like, oh shoot, this is kind of nice. And then they just bite the bullet. And it's actually 99 first year and 69 renewal after that.
I didn't notice that. Okay. Yeah. Wow. So that's not too bad.
Which I may drop it to all be 69 in the future, but I wanted to keep the bar a little bit high right now.
Yeah. See how it goes.
See how it goes while I'm like ironing out bugs, and I'm ironing out a lot of bugs. I'll tell you that. So I did do testing beforehand. Obviously, me and Kelsey, and then Jason Beggs and Steve and Josh Siri and Michael Dorinda. I had a bunch of people test it. And each one of them found something that needed to be fixed. And I was grateful for that. And then I put it out and everyone found something else, which is fine. I marked it as a beta release, and nothing has been like a showstopper, but there are several annoying things, but they're all getting fixed. And so I'm super excited about it.
So point of contention on the show a little bit has been that you are building a lot of these projects as part of the faster.dev ecosystem.
Correct.
Now, how do you feel about that? You have a lot of bugs in this first product.
Yep.
With not an unreasonable amount, but normal, right? Like you launch a product, there's
I have
bugs.
the appropriate amount of bugs in this project.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you got to fix the bugs. You got a refund request. You got whatever, all the stuff running a software business. So how are we feeling about these other 7 projects? Is 1 going to be enough? Or is 2 going to be enough? Or are we going to do the 7 over a longer period? Are we trying to still do all 7 on the first month? Like, what are we thinking?
Longer period is definitely the answer. So I think this one did well enough of a splash that I don't need to continue splashing. That's one thing. Yep. And I do want the projects to bake a little more. A little bit out of synchronicity. So I don't want to launch, 7 and then have to bake them all at the same time. Because hopefully the triage goes down and as the thing stabilizes and people don't have any further needs where then I can launch another one while this one is in like feature development maintenance mode, not like firefighting mode. So I am still convinced that the most interesting thing I could do is do interesting things. And so
Mhm.
that is still very much my firmly held belief.
Yeah.
I have seeded the point that they all need to be done right now. Um
Yeah, that's good.
so it's a micro win for Ian. I still
Yeah.
think a macro win for Aaron, that
Yeah.
the most interesting thing to do is to do things, and not
Mhm.
just
I agree
uh,
with that.
talk about sample projects I'm
Yeah.
building.
And there's a lot of guys out there with the, like, "I wrote this skill for you, use this skill,"
Right.
but, like, they're not building anything other than, like, "I added something to my blog," or whatever. So
Right.
I do think, like, you having a real product or 2 or 3 at some point, like,
Hmm.
all makes sense. I like all that. And yeah, I think interesting things like we talked about before could be like you fixing all these bugs would actually be quite
I know.
interesting, right? If you
I
were
know.
recording
If
this. I
I
don't know
were
if you
up
are
and running
recording
right
it, but
now, I
like,
would
yeah,
100% be recording that.
right. So I
So
think that interesting things take a lot of forms, right? So
yeah, which is that's also part of why I'm saving some of these future projects, is so that we can do this whole interesting loop as a
right.
recorded process. So I
Yeah.
can put it out, I can like record a video talking about how it's going to come out for subscribers only, and then I can put it out and we can share this like, hey, it came out, here's what I learned, here's
Yeah.
the bug tracking, and here's my fix flow. And I think that will be interesting. And I'm losing a lot of that right now on solo, which is fine because,
Yeah.
there are more to come.
Yeah.
But I do think that part will be fun to follow along with in the future.
And you think launching this before faster, that's worked out okay for you? You're happy
It
with that?
has. I am
Okay.
happy with that. I think it, as with all things that Aaron does, it was perhaps poorly timed in terms of crunch time.
Right.
But I think strategically optimal. I think it would have
Uh,
been strategically optimal if I had faster finished,
right.
even internally, and launched this, and now I can just kind of like chill and then wait for the, but alas, we press
Yeah.
on. But I do think
Right.
this brought a lot of attention to faster.dev,
Yeah.
in a very good way. And so yeah, I'm pleased with that decision.
All right. Final thing I have is you
Tell me.
released this behind the scenes image.
People love
Okay.
behind the
They
scenes.
love it. I
They
loved
love it.
it. I
You
was like, we
love
could do a
it.
whole show on
Everyone loves
this.
it.
It's amazing, this image. Yeah, you got a lot going on behind the scenes here, and I feel like we need to cover at least some of it because there's
Okay.
just people had questions.
Yep.
I have questions. There's just a lot of stuff there going on.
Hmm.
It's a little
So this
messy.
is from a tweet thread about making the video, and
Yep.
producer Dave will link it up.
Mhm.
It's the one where I'm pointing. I'll describe it, and then you can ask. I'm pointing a proper camera. I'm pointing
Yeah.
a Canon camera on this goofy looking tripod,
Yep.
with a big old lens. I'm pointing it at my monitor, and the text is basically like, this is something I learned from Steve. So a way to get very cool and like real feeling footage is do whatever you're going to do on the screen, but instead of, screen recording it, use a camera pointed at the screen. So that's the
Mm.
setup. That's what, broadly we're looking at. If you want to see the specifics, check the show notes. But what do you see in this photo?
Oh, man, there's a lot going on here. First of all, is there any tricks with the camera required to do this technique? Like, can you just run it? Yeah, I don't
I
know. Is the frame
think
rate different
I
or like?
think you have to turn on an anti-flicker mode. I
Mm,
don't recall. Somebody asked me that, and
mm.
I thought, man, my brain is
It's
gone. I
mush.
don't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've got 3 cameras. I've got 2 monitor.
it's a
I
lot.
do not remember. But I think there is an anti-flicker mode that removes that rolling
Mm,
hertz sync
okay.
mismatch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, just to describe for the listeners, we have a light box, we have a vertical monitor, horizontal monitor, which I've always been tempted by the vertical monitor, but it never sticks.
Pretty good.
You got one of those little keypad by the company things
Yep.
to make sounds and stuff. You got an
Hmm.
iPad there. You got
Yep.
a accountant numeric keypad just free
A
floating
10 key
around.
is what the
10 key.
old guys call it.
There
Yeah,
you go, a 10 key. The thing that caught my eyes, you have a lot of very unhealthy beverages. You have a
I do.
64-ounce Chick-fil-A cup. You have some kind of coffee situation. You have another coffee situation. You have some scissors. We don't know why. He's got scissors.
To
You have a
cut
little
things.
iPhone holder thing. You got a SD card. You got a pack of Uno cards or something. What is that blue thing back there? That's
Oh
a, is
no,
that a Zen?
That might be a nicotine box. I don't know who.
Oh, nicotine
Somebody
box.
must have visited and dropped that in here. This is on 2 milligrams mint nicotine pouch. I'm just reading this for the first time.
Yeah, you've never seen that before. You got
No.
some Visine and various other things.
Oh,
Professional
Visine and
recording
chapstick, of
people.
course. Yep.
Yep. So you got the I got the same or very similar little phone mount. Also does the AirPod charging.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a little messy. It's maybe I'm a messy guy too. This is maybe a little much for me, but
this is
I might have to
like
clear it out.
is like middle of the storm mess right here. Yeah.
I enjoy how you took the time to like blur everybody. There's a whole bunch of pictures in the background. I assume of family or other things.
Yep.
I'm not sure.
Family.
Blurred. We got some blurs going on.
Yeah,
but we
so
have
I use my black and white printer to print out pictures, and then I use blue painter's tape to put them up on the wall. So everything behind the camera is just like a wall of, family pictures, which is quite nice.
I kind of enjoy how it's like very, behind you on video is all very meticulous and picture frames, and facing you is very, quick and dirty. Kind of, let's just get the pictures up here. You have a lot of people had comments on there. You're going to die post-it note, which
there's a post-it note.
You're going to diff is what I first thought it was. And I was like, I don't understand what he's getting at. But then I was like, oh, this is like an internally motivation-y kind of thing.
So I got two. I have, it's for the watcher. The camera is right here, straight down the middle. In this photo, it's kind of turned off to the side because I was using it. But for recording, it's straight down the middle, and it aligns perfectly with the left edge of the horizontal monitor. And that's for screencasting, so that when I look at something, it reads correctly in the final footage. So I'm not like looking over here and talking about something over there, which is insane. So I have the camera right here, right next to it. I have a post-it note that says, "You are going to diff." It actually says, "You are going to die." And then right next to that, a picture, 2 school photos. I do have 4 kids, but only 2 are in school. So I only have 2 school photos. And then right next to that is the post-it note that was featured in the faster.dev launch video from my wife that says, "Thank you for working so hard for all of us. I love you." So those are those things stick up over my monitor right next to my camera so I can see them. You are going to die.
It's a little intense. So when did you pick up this? It's a
little intense.
When did
Have
you
you
put
ever
this
gotten
up?
the vibe that I'm not intense? Has that ever crossed your mind?
Is this a new thing, or is this something you've always done? Is this a long time thing?
This is 5-7 years long time thing.
Just keeping yourself reminded.
This is Memento Mori. Are you familiar with Memento Mori?
I wasn't until you did tweet that term.
I responded Memento. Let's get the official Memento Mori. An object serving as a warning or a reminder of death, such as a skull. So in a lot of religious artwork, primarily like old Catholic stuff, it's a Latin thing. There's always like I saw a great tweet one time that was like Renaissance paintings are always like a woman exposing one breast, and you're like looking at it and you're like, haha, I'm gonna live forever. What's that in the bottom corner? Oh no, a skull, I'm gonna die. And that's how like all this artwork is. There's always like a skull somewhere, and you can buy memento moris that are just like skulls to keep on your desk, and it's a very like centuries long, maybe millennia long thing of you must remember that you are going to die, because that puts things in perspective about like if somebody says something mean to you on Twitter and you're like, you know what, one day I'm gonna die, I'm just gonna hit them with a thumbs up because I super don't care about this person and what they're saying to me. And it's also a good reminder when I'm especially like right next to my kids, it's like, this time is limited and you better not F around. Like you are going to run out of time. Those kids are going to get older. I am going to be gone one day. So like, what the hell are you doing? You've got to get stuff done and you've got to like make it count. And so that is my poor man's memento mori. One day I'll get a very beautiful gothic artistic skull, but right now it's a post-it note that says you're going to diff. So
well, that's enough. I think
we'll allow it.
It gets the idea across.
It gets the idea across.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. It kind of has that. How it gave me the initial like more of that like movie teenagers like you only live once. Let's run
Yep,
away and make it
100%.
count kind of
Yep.
vibe,
What
right?
are you gonna do
So,
with your one wild life? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, all right. Any other Easter egg? I mean, I like how there's like a post-it note that's also blurred. Like, what's on that post-it note? I don't know. It's just a little post-it note with a little blurred.
Yep, that one is not for public consumption. That
Oh
is
man, baby.
that one. Yeah, that's a green one on the desk by the iPad,
Yeah.
and that is for Aaron's eyes only. Yeah, so the iPad I use to control all the lights around here.
Mm.
I have a little, you didn't mention, I have a little like 5x7, 4x6 monitor that I use
Oh yeah.
for camera output. And so
Mhm.
instead of like, I can set up the camera anywhere I want, and I just run an HDMI cable into this, and I can like
Yep.
walk around like behind the monitor or like behind my actual, desktop monitor with this thing in my hand and like make sure everything's synced up. And so that eliminates me like having to like look through the freaking thing or open the viewfinder. And it gives me my grid lines so I can make sure everything is like positioned correctly. So that's incredibly helpful. I don't know what they call that. It's just like a external
It's like a
viewfinder or
monitor.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, lots of coffees, little Chick-fil-A soda. The tripod is nice because um most tripods, because of their name, have 3 legs, right? That's where
Mhm.
the tri comes from. I don't know if you
That's
knew that.
right. It's the ancient
And
Latin.
then you just put the camera on top of it.
Mhm.
This one has like a telescoping arm
I
where the
see that.
camera traditionally goes. And
Yeah.
so it's a tripod with this arm on top of it that goes out
Mm.
horizontally. And so you can, as seen in this picture, put the tripod on the floor and then use this telescoping arm to point it out. And it's kind of like a cantilever.
Yeah.
And then I have a sack of weights on the back to stabilize it. But that has proved very useful in many
Mm.
scenarios where I can't get the tripod close to the thing I'm trying to get it close to.
Yep.
And I either don't have or don't want to zoom. I can
Mhm.
just use this thing to cantilever out over the desk and then point it directly there, which is nice.
See, I wanna do more video, but, like, all this stuff, and I'm
Look at all
normally
this
like
stuff.
gadgets,
Look
but,
at all
like,
this
it's a lot of
stuff.
annoying gadgets, more I already have a tripod I barely use, now I got a special
Now you gotta get
tripod,
10 more,
like,
yeah. I've got
I don't
that, like,
know.
goofy arm on the desk. This is like
Yep.
it's almost like a gorilla grip, but it's a small rig. It's called small rig, and it has a clamp on the bottom, and then it looks like there are maybe 3 or 4 segments that you
Yeah,
can
what's up
all
with that thing?
individually move around. So I, like, will sometimes clamp it to, like, my desk, and then you
Yeah.
can kinda, like, you have so many degrees of freedom that you can get it exactly where you need to get it and then tighten it all down. That's another way that you can get the camera right up on what you're trying to do.
Is that attached to the iPad right in this photo or no?
It
It's just,
appears
like,
to
in
be, but
front.
it's not. No,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
no.
okay.
That has just a standard camera mount on the end. And I will
Mm.
oftentimes use that for iPhone shots. And so I'll like
Mm.
clamp this thing down to like, the wall or like the door frame or something, and then
Yep.
kind of like scoot it around the corner and have the iPhone in there. And so it can just go anywhere, which is super nice.
Why is there a chair on the opposite side of you facing you?
Well, that's an interesting question, isn't
Okay,
it?
it
That's not
is.
a chair. That
Okay.
is an IKEA footstool.
Oh, that's your footstool.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think it comes with or it's an accessory that belongs with the Poang chair, which is a very
Huh.
common IKEA chair.
Mhm.
And so I'm sitting here in my nice, ergonomic, whatever.
Yep.
I don't want to put my feet up. I want to live a
Right.
little, right? And so I have a footstool under my desk, and right now I've got my feet propped up. I'm chilling.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
awesome.
I
Highly
gotta do
recommended.
that. I gotta do that.
It's great.
You have a standing desk. Do you ever stand at it?
This one is a standing desk. I do not stand at it. No.
Okay. It looks like
Um,
it'd be cumbersome. Like there's a lot going on around it.
the vertical monitor is in fact mounted to this desk,
Mm.
but the horizontal monitor and the camera are mounted to a separate thing behind the desk.
Mm.
And so they don't raise and lower with the desk. And
Yep.
the reason I don't have the camera mounted to this desk is
Mm.
shaky. You know, when
I
you're
think you've said that.
typing or
Yeah,
doing
if you're doing
something, you get those
something,
little
yeah.
micro shakes,
I don't like
and that's
those.
really annoying
Yep.
on video. And so I have it mounted to just a separate, like almost buffet table back there. But out in the living room, I have a standing desk that I will stand at. That's where all the database school videos are standing.
You also have this insane Apple mouse, which is the horrific Apple mouse, but with a
Yeah,
giant piece of gum attached to it so that
yeah,
it's
exactly.
ergonomic.
Hmm.
I think you should just get rid
Love
of
the
that
Magic
thing.
Mouse.
No, that thing is
Love
terrible.
the Magic Mouse.
Terrible. Don't like it. You can just get rid of that. What is this? Let's dig in. Okay. What is this? You have a silver box under the vertical monitor.
That
Is that a
is
headphone input?
that
Oh,
is the
there we go.
TP7.
Okay. What is that?
This is the Teenage Engineering.
Those
Yeah,
guys.
this was a launch present to myself.
Okay.
Back when we launched Mastering Postgres.
Mhm.
I bought the Teenage Engineering. I'm looking for the specific TP7. Oh, this one's jet black. Dang, I should have gotten that one. That one's
I should have held out.
cool. Dang.
Should have held
It is
out.
obscenely expensive and
Mm.
moderately useful. It is an ultra portable audio recorder, playback, listen back. It's basically just like a oh, and can
It's
you
like a
hear
phone.
this?
Yeah, that's kinda cool.
You hear that?
Yeah.
So that it has a rocker switch on the side,
Like a scrubber.
and it actually spins this little wheel in the middle, so you can like fast
Okay.
forward and rewind. And so it's basically just like a voice memo thing, but
Right.
I think it's actually supposed to be like a field recorder thing,
Mm.
because it's got the big mic input that you would use
Right.
for like a
That's what I
proper
thought,
mic,
yeah.
and then it's got
Mhm.
3.5
Reference,
millimeters at
yeah.
the top. So like if you and I were in person without a
Mhm.
computer, we could plug into this and do a proper multi-channel podcast, if we needed to.
Do you ever use this thing?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I've used it. I've used it a little bit because
Yeah.
I'm a big voice notes guy, but
Right.
all my voice notes now go to Apple's voice memos because it turns
Yeah.
out I have my phone with me more than
Right.
I have
That's the
my
thing, that's the
TP7
thing.
device. Yeah.
You have a, let's just cover a couple other things here while we're here. You have a square? What are you doing with a square?
I have a square. Where do you see
You
a
know, over in the
square?
left, isn't that what that's called? It's been a while since I took wood shop, but like,
Oh, like a framing square. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
um, I use that to draw straight lines from time to
Okay.
time.
All right.
I have two
When you're
of them.
drawing things,
Yeah,
okay.
when I'm drawing things, I
All right.
truly use that to draw straight lines. Yeah, I don't know
All
why I
right.
had that on my desk at the time. That's an interesting question.
You also seem to have a credit card back there, maybe by the Visine.
Yeah, that might be a credit card.
Could
If it
be.
is, don't look too closely.
Yeah, I don't think you can't see the number. You're okay there.
Oh
All
yeah, that
right.
is a credit card. Yeah, I don't know what credit card that is.
Do we have anything else we need to cover here? Now you're a vertical monitor guy, but with two different windows
Oh yeah, top and
horizontally in
bottom.
the vertical monitor.
Top and
Okay.
bottom. Yep.
So what are you doing there? What's
So
on top? Code?
typically, you know, there it was top was Claude and bottom was an app that I was developing.
Okay.
Nowadays, top is one set of ghosties and the bottom is another set of ghosties.
Okay.
And then my right hand monitor I typically will use for web or the app that I'm building or Claude on the web or something like that. But that's in one macOS space. So right now I'm looking at top Claude, bottom Claude, and then if I
Right.
swipe left, the space on the vertical monitor, the top is Slack and the bottom is texts.com,
Yep.
which is my SMS and Telegram and everything. So those are the two.
Interesting.
I have two spaces on the vertical monitor, and then on the horizontal monitor, I have several spaces. One is like web, general browsing. One is Spotify. One is ScreenFlow, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep. So people, if you want to dig into this this image, you could probably get a sneak peek at a future app because this is not solo.
No,
So
it
a
is not.
future app. We can decode that.
Maybe.
Now, so you're not doing Claude in solo though. So you got to join me with the Claude in solo and see
I
if
know
we
I
can
need
get
to
rid of the
try it.
raw ghosty.
If people are gonna
Yeah.
do that, I gotta try it. Yeah, I gotta see what the
Yeah.
experience is like.
Well,
I like having all of my like persistent long running stuff out of Ghosty in solo, and I like having
yeah.
my Bebop in Ghosty. But I'll have to try it. I mean, if people are gonna do that, I got to do it too.
But see, it seems to me like Claude is long running to me. Like it's long running in the sense of like I want to go there and have my 3 Claudes and like maybe kick something off from the night before. I understand they're not long running like a process sense, but like in a work sense, they are. They're
Right.
long running. Like I want it all set up the same way every time. Blah blah. So
Yeah. I don't know.
interesting.
You're giving me something to think about.
Yeah, I'll try it. We'll see. Maybe it won't work, but I don't know. I kind of like that idea because going to Ghosty kind of bothers me.
Mm,
Because I'm not in there for anything else. Like I'm only here for Claude. So like I kind
that's
of
what
want my
we're all
claws
here for.
together. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I don't know. We have other stuff we can cover, but we're already at an hour and a half. So let's wrap it. We'll have
Oh,
to get to
content rich today, baby.
yeah, lots going on. So thanks everybody for coming and hear us. Check if you haven't signed up, but you're going to Laracon EU, go
Oh,
sign up
that's
for the
right.
party. There's still some spaces, not a ton left, but there are some. So sign up for the party. Thanks to the sponsors. You can email us and all that stuff, which I had the email up, but now I've lost it. Let me go. I like getting the emails. Mostly technical podcast at gmail.com. Of course, mostly technical.com to follow the show and get the old shows. And we will see you next week. Talk to you later.
See ya.